Okay, good morning. We're on 20 meters at 14,250 and we're going to start calling CQ. So give me a call. Let's see if we can get you. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta, November, November 9, Delta, Delta.
The frequency is in use.
Where at? Somebody up above or below being a pain in the butt.
No, that.
All right, so you went up to 14,266. QRZ is the frequency in use. Is this frequency in use, please? QRZ, is this frequency in use? I always do that before I call CQ. I did it before we came on air, but they didn't answer, and then they threw that out. So here we go again. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Norway, Norway 9, Denmark, Denmark. November, November 9, Delta, Delta calling CQ20 and listening. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Norway, Norway 9, Denmark, Denmark calling CQ20 and listening. Gotta try a few times to get somebody, I guess. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. From Atlanta, Georgia, this is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Norway, Norway 9, Denmark, Denmark. November, November 9, Delta, Delta calling CQ and listening. Had to look down and make sure I didn't have the mute button on, and I didn't. CQ20, 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 CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Norway, Norway 9, Delta, Delta. November, November 9, Denmark, Denmark. Calling CQ20 and listening. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Norway, Norway 9, Denmark. Whiskey Alpha 7, Alpha Fox Victor. Good morning. Name here is Mike, Mexico, India, Kilowatt Echo Mike. And we're located down here in Stockbridge, Georgia, about 20 miles straight south of downtown Atlanta. And you've got a pretty decent signal. I think I'm sitting on 266.00, 14.266.00. You were just a little off frequency, but copyable. Back to you, WA7 Alpha Fox Victor. I think it's Richard. This is November, November 9, Delta, Delta. Name is Mike. Over.
QSL, Mike, QSL. November 9, Delta, Delta. This is Whiskey Alpha 7 Alpha Fox Victor. Very good, Mike. Your signal was up and down. I'm running 50 watts to a long wire, so I'm not sure how the propagation is this morning. But anyway, we've been under a weather situation here with minus 15 to minus 20 below zero up this way. And you, I believe you said you're in Georgia. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, no, I understand. I have sisters up in Wisconsin. They've been saying you guys have been cold for a couple of weeks, and she's been complaining. So, well, she's actually down in Arizona. It's my younger sister who's been complaining. My older sister goes home today from Arizona. So, welcome home, Lori. But yeah, no, I understand you guys have been quite cold. Somebody was telling me the other day from just across the border up there in uh, Canada that they were about 40 below zero. So bitter cold. Over.
QSL, QSL. Yes. Well,
This frequency is in use, gentlemen. This frequency is in use. Please QSY. That's going to wipe this out. And they're not going to move.
November uniform. November 4, Yankee, November uniform. November 4, Yankee, November uniform.
He's obviously not here, and I was up one. You stomped all over the guy I was talking to.
November 4, Yankee, November uniform.
This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta. I'm on 266, and you guys are crushing me. Can you move a little bit?
November 4, Yankee, November uniform.
He's going to just sit there and call his call sign or somebody else's. Well, I lost that gentleman, I guess. Let's try right about here and see what we can get. 279, 279. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, saying CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, NN9DD calling CQ. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, Norway 9, Delta Delta calling CQ20, 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 CQ20. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta calling CQ20. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta calling CQ20 meters. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, Norway 9, Delta Delta calling CQ20 meters and listening. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta calling CQ20 and listening. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people out here. I got one sitting down here in the chat room who I think's going to join me, but we'll keep calling. CQ, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, Norway 9, Delta Delta calling. CQ20 meters and listening. Anyone, anywhere. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ, 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 calling, CQ, CQ, CQ. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta calling, CQ20 meters and listening. Huh, that's funny. 14279 is where I'm sitting at, and that's where you're listening. You can't hear me? That ain't good. Although you're on the East Coast, I'm assuming. Let me look and see where you are. November 2. Helps if I put the right call in. You're in Florida. We might be too close. You're in Pensacola. Yeah, we probably are too close. Probably too close. I'll just keep calling and see if we hear anybody else, because you should hear what I hear pretty close. I mean, we're probably, it says we're 276 miles away. CQ, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, live broadcasting on YouTube under my call, November 9, Delta Delta. CQ, CQ, CQ. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta. This is November 9, Delta Delta calling CQ. That's cool. I'm looking to get a live stream going on. It's called Ham 365, where I'm going to basically just talk to the everyday hams and talk about what they need to talk about, how they got up in the sport, you know, how they're going about getting their information and learning, and, you know, find out what they want to hear about, and then do episodes on that, and, you know, just talk to the everyday people is kind of what I'm looking to do on my channel. So we'll see how that goes. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta, Norway 9, Delta Delta calling, CQ and listening. CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters, CQ20, CQ20, CQ20 meters. This is November 9, Delta Delta, November 9, Delta Delta calling, CQ20 meters. I'm on your channel right now. Looks nice. What kind of radios are you using? Just 100 watts is all I'm running right now. just looked at your channel. Looks very nice. So you're listening to me right now, I take it. You're the one who's listening. Yeah, I've got an icom 7610 that I run 100 watts on. I've got an IC 7300 that I run 100 watts on. I've got a 600 watt amplifier, but it's in the shop. Well, it needs to go to the shop. It's got some bad finals in it, so there, somebody jumped on the frequency now. So yeah, it's got some bad finals in it that I need to get replaced. So one of these days I'll send it in and go back to 600 watts, and it's amazing what that first couple hundred watts will do. Well, I'm going to shut it down. It doesn't seem like there's anybody out there that I can get to this morning, and we'll try back this afternoon. I have my best to